Okay, Paul here, and today on the bench I have another customer's device. This one is a Bose wave radio with a CD player, and I just took it out of the box package, and so the customer's complaint is the CD does not play. So we'll see what we can do to get it going. I'm glad they put some masking tape there. Take those off. I kept the CD case still from opening during shipping, and we'll hold on to those. Come off without hurting the device. And this is the remote control unit. I wasn't sure if I needed that, but I figured, well, since the customer was sending the unit, they might as well just send the remote control with it. There it is. And so we'll see what we can find out. I think I got a CD here. Now, of course, won't be able to play much of it because of copyright infringement. I'm so tired of this nonsense with copyrights when people are making videos to show people how to fix things, and they play a part of a song. They're talking over it for one thing, and it's just to show the demonstration of the device. It has nothing to do with the copyrighted material. It's just it's a CD player. There's no way I could throw a CD in there that is not royalty free. They just don't make them. So you know, I guess I could record some royalty-free music, but then you don't know how the device is performing with a professionally cut disc. So, you know, these are things that are just really frustrating. Anywho, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. Apparently, the customer sent the bass and the radio, so let me disconnect the radio from the base here. We don't need both. I'll take that off and figure out how this unlatches here. This side's okay, it just slides out of there. I see. Now let's unplug that. And I don't unplug it. I have to weed it through there. It's strange, this should unplug. You would think Bose would make a better deal than a non-removable cord that you got to feed through a hole, but they did. Okay, so that takes the base off, which is a model AWRC1P base, which is the typical base for this unit. And so the unit itself is a model AWRC1P. AWRC1P, it's a pretty common device, very nice actually, well-made device. And I will plug it into my Variac. Kick in about 120 volts. 118, good enough. And let's see if this even turns. the radio works. Okay, disk. Okay, it's flashing CD, but it's not playing. Nope, now it says CD track 1, disk, and now it went back to flashing CD. So we definitely have a problem. I don't think the motor's even turning. Let's try that. If you ever work on one of these, never look into the laser beam. Obviously, it will blind you. There, it's flashing CD again. But it's not playing. Allen wrench ought to do. Okay, now let's try it again. Okay, when it's trying to turn, see it spinning and then stopping? I don't know if you can see that. Oh, you probably can't see that. Watch the wheel in the middle. See it spin and stop? And the eyes going up and down? So it's engaging. The mechanical part's engaging. Let's put the disc on there and try that. It'll be more obvious. See it start to turn? Of course, the disc is slipping. Track 4. It's like it's trying to engage. I don't know if you can hear that popping. And when it pops, it goes back to a flashing CD. So I'll have to find the schematic for it and also have to take it out of the case. So we'll do that and see what we get. I'll be back once I get the case apart. Okay, Paul here, and I've got this Bose wave radio displayer working. And what I had to do is clean the optical eye and also readjust the voltage supply. There's a potentiometer on the driver that does that, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, and you want to be very careful if you do these. First off, if you work on any CD or DVD-ROM player, make sure you never look into that eye while it's on. That will blind you. It's a laser beam, and you cannot look directly at it. If you want to know whether or not it's working, you can use a camera and on your phone or any digital camera, hold it over the eye, turn the unit on, and you see that light in there, that red light, and I'll do that one more time. Looking at the eye, if I turn the CD on, see the red infrared light in there? Hope you can't see it too great. There you go. That is the laser beam that reads the disc. Now on these units, these Bose units, these are really hard to work on. They're not, there's no manuals out, there's no technical information out there. Bose tries to keep all the service work to themselves, and they charge an outrageous amount for service. But this unit, when you take the lid off and get the assembly out, this unit has a floating CD-ROM player here, and it sits on these there's three pins. It just sits in there. You got to gently lift it out. It's hard to do with one hand, but you lift it out like that, and you can get to it. And you see the pins there that hold it. There's three of them. There's one in there, right there next to the mount of the transformer. Anyway, there's three pins. You can probably see it better there. And this is the driver board here underneath. And there's a potentiometer there, a little adjustable potentiometer in this bottom left corner here. That little guy there. Let's see if I can set this down. Okay, and I'll get a pointer. And it's this little guy here. Now you can turn that up. You need a precision screwdriver. And one I use is this one here, which I'll show you the sides. It's very small. Okay, and you can turn that up, but you only want to make gradual turns on that, just a little bit at a time. And try it. If it doesn't turn the disc, turn it a little more. Try it. If it doesn't turn the disc, you can go the other way. Maybe you're going the wrong way. Depends how that potentiometer is wired in there and what unit you're using. Now it happens on this Bose wave unit here that it's clockwise. You turn it to give it more voltage to the laser diode, which is in here. And there was three connections there. Get a little closer to it right there. And I'm not sure if you can see that. There you go. Those three there. They're not the best solder joints. They have trouble apparently at Bose soldering those in. They look nice and silvery in the camera, but you notice how they look like balls of solder instead of like the rest of the solder, which is sort of like flat and smooth. Those are like bulky and bulged. That's bad solder joints. But they were probably soldered by hand where the board was made in a wave solder, or, you know. But still, that's bad solder joints. But you don't want to heat them up. You don't want to mess with them because you don't want to burn out that laser diode or you're out of luck. So anyway, you turn this just a little bit and you turn it clockwise, and you can see that it supplies power. If you look at, let me see if I can zoom in on that. Okay, now if my camera will focus correctly, you'll get to see what I'm saying. And I have to bend over right here to see. If you see this outer trace here, let me get something that you can see better than white. I'm not sure what better. Yeah. If you see this outer first trace here goes to this pin. Okay, that's your power supply coming in. And then it comes out of this pin here and it goes up to the diode here. So that's your power supply for the diode. Okay, so by turning it clockwise, you're actually connecting this more to this, less resistance, because you're going down in resistance. And that increases the voltage there. So you got to be careful because, put this back on normal. If you put too much voltage on that eye, you can burn it out. So you want to go little by little and gradually get it up there until it works. Now again, that's only if you know you got a laser in the first place, like we showed you. And secondly, that it tries to turn the disc. And you've probably seen in the original part of the first part of this video, it like sputters and it doesn't really spin. It just acts like it wants to and never does. That was because the eye is not able to see the disc, and so it won't run if it can't see the disc. It's like saying no disc, you know. So there you have it. Now basically all I got to do is reassemble it, and it's a very simple job. It's just the reverse of disassembling it, and there really isn't much to it. You know, it's a little tricky getting the cover off and on, but other than that, it's not bad. So, let's see, where's my points here? Okay, goes this way here, and that black ring around the white cable there and the red wire go through that little slot, and this just gently sits on those pins. You want to make sure that it's sitting on them and that all the pins are, there you go, you can see them sticking through the holes a little. That's just from its own weight. Once you know it's right, then you can gently push it down, and it sits just like that. And the cable goes in here, in this little slot. And that's how that goes back in place. And these cables come out around here into this little groove here. And that's just so that they're not binding on this head, so that this head unit is floating. It doesn't float much because once you tighten it down, it stays pretty sturdy, but it is floating. And so that's all there is to that. And then you just reassemble it. Now the disc I've been using, the reason I've got tape on it is because the case is there. The case has to be closed in order for the unit to work. And normally you would put the disc inside the case and close the door. But since I got it disassembled, the only way to get it to run is to close the case door. And of course you can't put the disc in there, you got to put it here. Well, there's nothing to hold the disc because there's that black wheel in there. There's a pressure wheel that holds the disc down on the shaft here. Since there's nothing there to do it, what you do is you just put a little masking tape or something like that over it. Make sure the disc is sitting flat first, and then just fold it over the top and push it down on there, and then attach it to the other side of the disc. And make sure it's firm all the way around, or it won't spin the disc. It'll jump up and down and it won't play. And when you turn it on, it'll automatically look for a disc first if you was playing a CD. And right now it's not knowing that it was playing a CD, so we'll just hit the play button. And this CD is bad. Okay, there it goes. Disc 3. Good sound. These units have a really good sound. Track 4. Track 5. Alright, it's not going to play 5 because this disc, like I said, it's got really worn out. It's track 6. Track 7. So the head assembly is working fine. That's on track 10. It ain't going to play that one probably. Now again, if this disc was, there's 11, if this disc was in the tray that it belongs in, it'd be held in place correctly too. But, you know, the masking tape's enough to get it going. There's track 1. And you notice the disc spins faster on the outside tracks than on the inside track. Like if we go back to 11, you notice the disc speed slows down. Can you figure out why that is? Why it goes faster on 1 than 11? You should know, right? Answer that in the comments. It'd be interesting to see what your thought is. So, again, 11, or 10. turns a lot slower. It's 11. And 1 picks up speed. Okay, well anyway, I'm going to put this back in the case. We got it working, and the radio works fine. The customer's complaint was the CD-ROM would not play. Well, now we got a plan. I could turn the voltage up a little bit. I turned it quite a bit to get it working, but I don't want to overdrive this at least now the customer knows it'll play disc. If there's a disc that it doesn't want to play, well, you know, it's risky to add more. This fix that I've done on this is just going to extend the life of this disc player a little longer, but this unit has some age, and so does the disc player has been used, and you know, it's just getting old. Finding one of these is almost impossible. You can't buy one because these units, even sold for parts, are cost prohibitive of buying it, and then not knowing that even if you bought one to get the CD-ROM out of it, if it would even work. I can try to see if Bose will sell this particular model drive, and I'm going to do that and see if I can get a price on one. But right now this one's working and the life should be extended on it, so we'll go from there. But thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful and beneficial, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Take the time to do that. Just slow down what you're doing and hit that little thumbs up button. Be sure to subscribe to see other videos, and I appreciate any support you provide. Thank you. Okay, there's the unit back in its case, and the CD's playing fine. So go to the next track. You can skip ahead. That's me skipping ahead. Pretty good. Playing fine. Having a little trouble with track 5. Let's go back to 5. Okay, that's probably that disc though. Like I said, it has issues. I just want to see if it times out on it. See if I can make it skip into it. No. Won't do nothing with 5. It's trying. 6 works. 7. Skip ahead. 2 fine. 8. So apparently the beginning of track 5 is kind of damaged. It's 9. Track 10. 11. So if you get to a track on a disc that it doesn't want to play, it's because there's some problem with that track. Okay, and I'll show you that. Let's stop it. And on this disc, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a lot of, you probably know, oh yeah, you can see some of it there. See all that mess up? This is a bad disc. It's one I like, so it's been played a lot, and it's got a lot of issues. I don't know, I might clean up some if I tried to clean it, but haven't tried to clean it in a while or play it. But it didn't look that bad. Let's see if it'll play track 5 now. It's got some scratches there that are pretty deep. Okay, Let's try it. Okay, picked 1. Let's try 5 again. 4. There it goes. So it's probably a fingerprint when I put it in there. Scan ahead. Yep, it's working fine. Scan back. Working fine. Okay, so this unit is ready to go back to its owner. I'll put it back in the base and we'll ship it back. Thanks for watching the video. Please consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing if you haven't already. And I appreciate the support. It helps me keep my channel online. And thank you and have a good day.